What's up, everyone? Welcome to the second concept of the virtual mobility membership. And this is something called controlled articular rotations. Now, it's CARS for short. You'll hear me say that in future videos. This is something that is going to be very important to understand and to be able to utilize in the class to, one, create awareness around where our range of motion is and where our body is in space, but also to maximize our range of motion through each joint. So a controlled articular rotation is the idea of moving a joint individually from the other joints around it in space. Now, in the first video, the principle of irradiation, that goes hand in hand with controlled articular rotations because we need to make sure we're irradiating tension before we go into our controlled articular rotations. Being able to do really good controlled articular rotations will provide a lot of information for you to know what you might need to improve on throughout that range of motion. So for example, a controlled articular rotation for our shoulder is going to look like this. We are going to be hitting all ranges of motion. So we're going to come across into adduction, and we're going to come up all the way into flexion to then start rotating only through my shoulder. Notice nothing else is moving. Rotating all the way around into extension and internal rotation. And then we're going to reverse that. So CARS go each direction. So we'll go back into extension. We'll open up into external rotation, come back around into flexion, back into adduction. Right? So notice when I did that, the only thing that moved was my shoulder. I wasn't moving the whole rest of my body. Now, granted, CARS, just like the principle I said in the principle of irradiation, CARS can be done at a higher intensity or lower intensity, depending on where you're at for the day or where your training level is or what I'm asking out of you in that specific class. So this right here is a lot less tension than when I'm really locked in and trying to maximize how much effort I'm putting into my shoulder. So understanding that controlled articular rotations can be as hard or as easy as you want to make them is going to be crucial for you to be able to get the most out of them when we start using them in our classes. Now, I'm going to go through in the next video an entire breakdown of controlled articular rotations for each joint in the body. This is something that we learn as the morning routine, something that you can do every morning if you wanted to. That's just going to get all the tissues moving, the joints moving, and just improve blood flow to the areas. This is not something that's going to necessarily improve range of motion, but it is going to help you feel better throughout the day. That will be the next video in the morning routine.